What a beautiful day to learn about some loans. Hi, I'm Julie Calzin. I'm here to bring you the Ask Julie C Real Estate Show. And here with me in the heart of the finance district of the Phoenix metropolitan area is Miss Lizy Hoeffer Irvine. How are you today, Lizzie?
I am fantastic. Hi, Julie C viewers.
Today we're here because Lizzie is an expert in her field. She is top 1% of lenders nationwide. She also runs the #1 female-led team in the state. Is that right?
That is correct.
So now I want to delve a little bit more into the lending process and the actual, from going under contract, what we can expect. I know that a lot of clients kind of interchange the words pre-qualification and pre-approval. Can you kind of explain the difference between a pre-qual and a pre-approval?
Yes, so there is one big difference. So a pre-qualification means that you've had a conversation with the loan officer, and based on your conversation, and typically a credit report is run, they believe that you would qualify for a home loan, and they would set out terms and payments, etc. Pre-approval requires that we review all of the financial documentation, compare it with the application, verify, an average of income that we can use, an average balance in accounts that we can use, and it's a really thorough analysis of the paperwork, but it is still just a pre-approval because the approval process happens once you're under contract and an underwriter verifies that it's insurable.
Okay, so I've noticed through working with you in transactions that we've done together that your team actually does a pre-approval from the get-go. What are some advantages in doing this versus the typical just pre-qualification?
So buying a home is the second most stressful event in a person's life. And I like to think that one of the ways that we can minimize that stress is by not having surprises. And when you have somebody come to your office and you review the paperwork and you're identifying any questions that an underwriter might have, we're preventing issues from happening from the get-go. It also helps them, like most people don't have a copier at home or a scanner, right? So it helps streamline the process for them and allows them to, when they get under contract, just to send an updated bank statement or a paycheck stub. So having a pre-approval appointment where we can set expectations, we can make copies, we figure out what all of the unknowns are. I personally think it's the best way to set somebody up for success, although, there are multiple opinions on that, but that is the way that I find to be the most efficient and that will have the happiest clients.
Okay, so what does the timeline look like then? Like from the time you receive the initial online application from one of your applicants and potential clients, how long does it usually take your team to respond to that application?
We'll contact them that day, they'll get a needs list sent out right away, and once they've returned the needs list or they've had a pre-approval appointment set with me, that's typically like 24 to 48 hours, right? So they can get it fairly quickly. At least a pre-qualification they can get the same day, right? A pre-approval might take 2 or 3 days, depending on how fast they can get us the documents.
Of course, so I actually wanted to stress that. You read my mind. How pertinent is it that clients get those documents to you ASAP?
It is super important. So that's why, again, a pre-approval is so important, because we're giving you that needs list of documentation that you know that you'll need up front that we can take right to underwriting. Okay.
Wonderful. I have a lot of clients and viewers who don't quite understand why it takes 30 days to 45 days for an escrow period. So can you kind of explain what moving parts start to kick off once we go under escrow and what kind of timelines there are for certain aspects?
Yes. So the first step once you get under contract is to send out the initial loan disclosures. And because we're not just disclosing our fees, we have to get estimated fees from the title company. And that has to be within a timely manner. We have to disclose every loan within 3 days of receiving a contract. So for us, it's really important. So that's your first milestone. Then we can't really do much until you've acknowledged or signed those disclosures. So that's an also waiting period. So depending on how fast you are responding to that, then we can order an appraisal. We can order the rest of your title work, your homeowner's insurance, your verifications of employment, social security, tax verifications. I mean, you name it. We verify it when it comes to your assets and employment. And then from there, once we've gathered all of that information, we would submit your loan into underwriting. Now, there's also an inspection for an appraisal, right, that happens, which also can take up to 10 business days, and we'll resubmit for final underwriting, because that typically comes in after we get a loan approval. But there's so many different people, right? So whenever you have a variety of different people involved in one transaction, there's title people that need title searches stuff. There's an appraiser who needs to investigate the property. There's, underwriters who want to, review for insurability. And, there's clients who have a ton of questions, right? So, whenever you have, there's like 10 to 15 people on average in a home loan, it's just going to take longer, right?
Thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, you can message me any questions you have, or if you want to start researching your options, message me on Facebook. Also, my information will be at the end of the video. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.